Hello and happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Maria Milagros, and today we're going to continue talking about the journey of life. Particularly, I want to talk about other people's journeys. And I want to just use this time to remind you that you're on your own journey. We covered that. You have to go through certain things. You have to have certain mistakes or failures or problems. And I quote those because after a certain point in your life, you recognize that they're not mistakes. They're necessary to figure out what not to do. And they're not failures. They're necessary. And they're not, problems. They're opportunities. You start to figure these things out. But you have to go through those things and your struggles and your bad choices and your sabotaging and your self-destructiveness in order to get to a place of love and compassion and mercy and maturity and wisdom and, in order to evolve and change and grow, which is the point. That's like the whole point, is to evolve and change and grow. So we have a tendency to forget to extend that love and grace and mercy and compassion and understanding to other people who are also on their own journeys. You see, we have a tendency to look at other people's journeys and to say, you need to fix this and you need to fix that and you know what your problem is and and we judge their journey. I used to do this all the time. I'm not even gonna lie. Who did I think I was? Where do we get off pointing at other people's journeys and life decisions and saying, wrong? Where do we think, who do we think we are, really? I remember back in the days when I would run into someone or meet someone, and if they had an attitude, one, I would either assume that the attitude was about me, which it wasn't. Who did I think I was? Or two, I would just automatically, right off the cut, that person is stank. They got an attitude problem. They probably hate their lives, blah, blah, and go into run this whole story in my head about this person because of an attitude. And I was reminded of this today because earlier I met this woman, this cashier in the store, and she had an attitude. Like, she was so nasty to everybody. Now, old Maria would have been like, she stank. I'm going to tell her about herself when I get up there. I might even talk to the manager. No, for real. Old Maria would have done that. New Maria, evolved Maria, loving, compassionate. I love myself, so I love other people. I recognize my journey, so I'm letting other people have their journey, Maria. Walked up to the register and asked her if she was okay. And she said, what? And I said, well, I don't mean to be rude, and I'm not trying to call you out, but you are really being nasty to some of these people. And I doubt you even know them. And I certainly know you don't know me. So it has nothing to do with us. So just from one human to another, I just want to check in and see if you're okay. And she just looked at me for a second, dumbfounded, and then told me that her best friend recently passed away and she couldn't get the time off that she felt like she needed. And she's back at work, so she's mad at everybody. And there it is. People are on their own journeys. There's that quote that everybody knows, and it's like, don't judge anyone else. You don't know what they're dealing with or what they're going through. It's so true. Every action has a motive. Every action has a motive. You may not understand it in that moment. You may never know what it is. But as long as we're living in a place where we recognize that people aren't going to act out. People aren't going to act out unless they're angry, they're sad, they're afraid. It usually falls under a category of fear. And even when you're mad, that falls under fear. When you're angry, that usually falls under fear. And they just really need love. We have one job. We have one job when it comes to other humans, and that is to love. And we are unable to do that regularly if we are unable to love ourselves regularly. When we judge them, chances are we carry a lot of judgment for ourselves. When we are critical of them, chances are we are critical of ourselves. And so I just wanted to use this time to just remind us all, and myself, that people are people. They act from a place, from a motive. There's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. It may not make sense and it may not be healthy, but it's part of their journey. And a lot of the times it's what they know to be real. It's how they know to handle situations. It's what they understand about a situation or what they've seen, and they're just duplicating, and they don't even realize that they're just repeating patterns or continuing cycles or whatever. Our job is to love on them, not to judge them, not to tell them that they're horrible people, not to tell them what they should or shouldn't be doing with their lives, just to love on them. And then to love on them some more, and then to love on them some more. Now, that being said, if you have someone in your life who is destructive and that they have a pattern of destruction, either towards themselves or other people, and it's really unhealthy for you, you have the right to terminate that relationship. You have the right to love them from a distance. If someone else is living a lifestyle that does not match your own, there, without judgment, you can say, that's how you choose to live. Okay, great, congratulations. I don't live like that. I'm over here headed in this direction. You're over there headed in that direction. We have to just cut ties. We have to part. We have to make those decisions for ourselves and be able to recognize the difference between loving on someone and living in their pattern, right? So we don't have to live in the pattern. We can love them from a healthy distance. So I just wanted to point that out too. Just a reminder, everybody's on their journey. Every action has a motive, and everybody needs love. Every single human just wants to be loved and accepted. That's it. So I hope that helps you in some way, shape, or form. I hope that it's just a reminder to be kinder to each other, to express love, to act from a place of love and gratitude. I hope that it contributes to you living super sparkly everything. Because again, then we're not taking it personal. We're not carrying the weight of worry. We're praying for, loving on, and sending them love. And we're just allowing them to live out their life choices because they get to do that, right? Adults get to make their own life choices. And so we have to let them. And we can pray for them, and we can love on them, and we can hope that they become healthier if they're destructive in some way. In the end, it's their life, it's their journey, it's their choice. So, yes, that's it. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a super sparkly weekend. Peace.